Peace. That's it. I'm gone. Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Big Sarge, large and in charge of my one and only self, taking myself up off the shelf, hoping to discover and find my greatest internal wealth. And I hope you're doing the same for yourself. Y'all know what it is. It's Speak Grunt. Grunt Speak, Speak Grunt. Where we come through and we speak to you and we talk about some things we've been growing through. And hopefully some of the things we talk about help you grow to your greatness too. And we need you to jump on here and share. That's what we asking you to do so we can help other grunt brothers get through. Now, you know what I like to say, 11B, 11 Charlie, I believe 11 Alpha 2 for my officer crew, 0311 for my Marine Corps brethren, by grunts for grunts, where everybody is welcome, but everybody cannot or will not be a member. We definitely appreciate support and what we do, because without support, we couldn't do it without you. But to be a specific member of this group, this platoon, you got to be rocking that 11B, that 0311, that 11 Charlie. You got to be true blue infantry, but you definitely can be around the crew, because support is what we need from you. With that being said, I got some work I need to do. I need to reach out to my counterpart and see if he got my link too before we get on here and we really start talking to you. So what I need you to do for me, share this video today. Make sure you drop down in the comments, talk about what you want to talk about. Let's see what you got to say. Let me get out of my private chat today so I can make sure I'm looking at the comment and respond back to you. Hey, this may not be for your kids, but your kids can be blessed by this too if you let them come through and hear some of the things we discuss with you. Unfortunately, this part is also true. Some of the words that we may share may not be so inspirational for kids at a certain age. So I just want you to make sure you keep that in mind today as I reach out to my buddy Whiskey Charlie and see where he may be before I get into this topic. Before you and me, pay attention, damn it, laugh. Oh, well, unfortunately, Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but I'm paying as much attention as I need to, so I hope you paying attention too. But thank you for reminding me, just in case you specifically watching me. Hey, brother. Drop down in the chat your 1 minute win, your 1 minute war. Where you tuning in at? Where you tapping in from? When is the last time you served? When was the last time you were behind a Facebook user Hooligan21? Hey, what's going on, Big Sergeant Stafford? How you doing, sir? That's the only 2-1 I know from Hooligan21. Yeah. That's weird. I'm surprised you didn't come up because I know we friends. All right. I'm going to go ahead. Not actual. Laugh out loud. Grow. Hey, what's going on, Grow? How you been, brother? It's been a very long time. Not actual. Grow. That'll do. That works for me too. It's all good. How you doing, sir? As I'm waiting on my counterpart to respond to me, I want to talk about my 1 minute win and my 1 minute war. But first, I got to get my shades on to feel like I'm doing the right Sarge thing. Good, man. Bless, man. That's always good to hear. And anytime you're talking to a fellow hooligan, Bravo Bulldog, anybody that I actually served with, went to combat with, and had the opportunity to go down, opportunity to go down range with. I definitely take my hat off to you. I salute you. It's good to hear from any of you and what you've been up to, and I'm just grateful that you guys are actually tuning in and tapping in. My 1 minute win, my 1 minute war. War. I don't really know that I have something that I'm battling today or something that's been getting in my way. I had a few wins to come my way today. I got up on my roof and had to blow some leaves and trees away from a storm or two that we've been going through. A win is I didn't hurt myself. That's a good thing for me. My wife was a little bit nervous. Whew, excuse me, because she hate me doing those things, especially in the morning. I got to go do some surgery. I don't know if that's a war. That's a win. That's a win. It was a battle within, going back and forth, because I'm never the individual looking to go under the knife to do that thing. But sometimes you got to go under the knife to get things right. So I'm grateful that I have the insurance and I have the support and the love from my family and friends. So that's what we gonna do. Battling a Z monster. Yeah, it feel like it, man. I've been up since probably 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning, which is a normal thing for me. Getting up, working out, reading, stretching, doing a multitude of other things. But yeah, I feel like today I'm coming down and it's time to relax. But it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get on track and I'm gonna do what we need to do. And we're gonna share this topic with you. And as I continue, like I was talking about, my win is just not falling. Cleaning my roof, cleaning out my gutters, getting that all done, getting that all taken care of, getting to church this morning. My family's still healthy. They still good. Everybody's still loving on me. Like it's a good, beautiful day, man. And I'm breathing. I'm okay. So I don't have nothing specific or anything loud that I just want to say I won that today. I'm just winning because I got life. And sometimes you got to be okay with that. You just got to be winning because you got life. And everybody don't have that. Everybody, I take that back. Of course, the people that don't have that, we know they're not here, but everybody don't live the life they need to live. Now, tonight I want to talk to you about what I call R3. Which would you choose? R3 is three simple things too. You have the repair, you have the removal of, or you have to refurbish or replace something. And what does that mean? When I say which will you choose between the three, there's times in our life and situations where really you just have to make a decision. You really just have to make a decision. And the reason I'm talking about these three R's today is because I don't know if you heard me say I got to get up in the morning, I got to go do some surgery. And a lot of times we use these three R's more than we even see. Is it something in your life or situation in your life that needs repairing? Is it something in your life or a situation in your life or someone in your life that needs removing? Or is it someone or something in your life that needs to be refurbished, taking something old and making it new? Or would you much rather replace that thing? Would you think that would be more beneficial? So tonight, that's kind of what I want to share and talk about with you tonight, and go through some things and then just talk about some things in your life that may need some repairing. I started Speak Grunt 3 years ago just because there was some repairing that I was still going through as I began to grow. And after talking to some of my fellow brothers in arms, I realized there were some things that they're repairing too, mentally, to strengthen what they were growing through. I hate to say what you're going through, because when you talk about what you're going through, it always keeps you in a negative connotation and a negative way to look at things for you. So in our change that going to what you growing through, it always reminds me to let the individual know that you're actually getting through. You're just growing through this process. And a lot of times when you growing through this process, there are some things that have to get removed from you. Some things may not just be able to be repaired, but I'm gonna tell you exactly what repair looks like from the Google definition. I'm gonna break down all three as you're listening. So to repair, fix or mend a thing suffering from damage or fault. The action of fixing or mending something put right. A result of fixing or mending the relative physical condition of object. Facebook views. When you go through hell, remember we never walk alone. Absolutely. That may be a part of growth. That may be a part of repairing our mind right there. You know, we leave the military and we tend to forget that that's not it. We still have brothers in arms and that we serve with, and even if they're not still serving, you're still family. And as family, you have to know that you never walk this walk alone. But a lot of times, I think that's what's going on. We struggle and suffer in the inside, so we attempt to hide the things that we need to remove from our life. Some of these things that's hurting our life or ruining our life may not be able to be repaired. If you go through, I don't want to use that example, but I will. It isn't the same for everyone, but Big Sarge specifically, this is something that happened to me. So I removed myself, two instances. I removed myself from a marriage that at the time I didn't feel like could be repaired. So I had to remove myself. But what I found out later in life that not the entire marriage, I needed to be refurbished. I was attempted to be replaced, not because of them, because I moved out the way. But being replaced wasn't in the space that God had for me and my wife. Now, I had to take some time to begin to repair my mind and know that I wasn't alone in that fight, even though I acted and portrayed that I was alone multiple days, multiple nights. And we do that same thing. And I'm going back and forth between my story about repairing and removing and refurbishing, and I'm using it in analogy with the military. When we removed ourselves, when we ETS'd, there were some things that need to be repaired. There were some things that needed to be refurbished. There were some things that needed to be removed so you can get back to a healthier, whole, better version of you. Why do I say that? Not as if something was wrong with you. Absolutely. Self-care, buddy care isn't only about the body, my brother. Absolutely. I believe it always starts in the mind. If you don't start with your spiritual man, then the physical man won't understand what you really putting it through in order to get to the best version of you, grow. So absolutely. Hopefully I'm not taking that out of context. Self-care, buddy care isn't only about the body, my brother. No, absolutely. I believe it starts in the mind. And I believe if you don't start working on your mind, your body gonna fall behind, because we've often seen people who physically can be appealing, physically look like they have it all together, but mentally and spiritually may be falling completely apart. And that's what makes it difficult to talk. That's what makes it keeping those things in the dark. That's why we have 22 to 26 veterans committing suicide every day, because some of these individuals look good when you look at their body. Some of these individuals you looking at and you seeing their body every day, but you not removing what you physically see to look deeper into your battle buddy. You know, so I thank you, sir. I, going back to what my buddy just said, it's not about just the body. It's deeper than that. It's about the mind. And as I was explaining to you, there was a time where I removed myself from a marriage because I really needed to be repaired. I actually needed to be refurbished. I needed to be made anew. And I needed to be made anew internally. And internally, I had to deal with me. See, and using those three R's is very interesting. Oftentimes you have to use all three of those things, but then it's all about positioning. it's like the escalation of force that we used to have. You know, you had certain things you had to do. If you were basically, say, for example, you were out on a checkpoint, you were on the ground, you might have had to be in close contact. So you would use something like shout, show, shove, shoot, escalation of force, and all those things. When you're in a vehicle, you had to do it a different way. Why am I saying that? You had to skip steps. And even with these R's, you may need to skip steps. Some things may not be able to be repaired. Some things may just need to be removed. When you living in your past, you need to find a way to remove that past thought from you. What you used to be, how you used to do, what you used to see, where it used to be. Used to be's don't make no honey, as you heard me say. I got it from Les Brown that day. And it was some things that, excuse me, it looked like Whiskey Charlie finally hit me back. It was some things that, no, I had to, you have to remove. That's the previous part of you. Some things that you need to remove to get to the next version of you. And let me stop going back and forth on you and stay where I wanted to be. I removed myself from a marriage because I had some repairing that I needed to do. And it wasn't fair to my family that as I was going through this repair process, as I was going through this refurbishing process, to be honest with you, I had to do this all by myself because I had made a big mess. I had made a big mess of what I thought things should be, and I needed to separate myself to focus on what God was saying to me, because I wasn't mature enough, nor was I man enough, because that's what it boils down to share those painful and emotional things that I was continue to grow through. It made me feel like I was going through and nobody would understand what I was going through. And although I could be an open book to you, I really was talking surface level stuff too. I didn't really go in depth. I talked more in breadth. I talked about a variety of things, a wide range of things. But when it came to digging in me and Big Sarge, that part of that I was really in charge of, I didn't take charge. Yeah, I didn't take charge. I didn't do what I needed to do to be healthy and whole and heal myself for what my marriage probably didn't have to go through. You may have not taken the time to be healthy and whole to heal yourself. Ooh, I like that. Learning to remove our bad habits and guilt from surviving is an uphill battle. Learning to remove our bad habits and guilt from surviving is an uphill battle. Refurbishment of our self image is important. We're not broken, just beaten up. Now, that right there, as I say in the spiritual world, that right there, preach. We're not broken, we're just beaten up. My marriage, it was just beaten up. It was just beating up because I went into a marriage with the same attitude of a boyfriend. I went into a marriage with the same attitude of just having a girlfriend. My mindset for marriage had been beaten up and it needed to be repaired because I wasn't mentally all the way there. Physically, I was showing up. I was a part of that thing, but mentally, I wasn't treating my wife like a queen, and nor was I treating myself like a king. Because again, like I told you, there was some refurbishing. There were some things that needed to be taken out. There were some things that needed to be taken apart. There were some things that needed to be inspected. There were some things that needed to be removed. And then some new things, thoughts, ideas. I ain't talking about parts and pieces. That's tomorrow when I go do my knee surgery. But thoughts and ideas and values. There were some things that needed to be removed so I could reintroduce or reintegrate or add something new to change my view of not just me, but how I seen my family, how I seen the marriage thing, and how I see myself moving forward to continue living. So as my buddy just said, it wasn't broken, it was just beaten up. And when things are not broken, and sometimes when things are broken, again, when things are broken, it can be repaired. But sometimes you may not want to repair. You might want to just remove what that is, remove yourself from that situation if it's not helping you. Step away. You might just need to remove from a period of time, 3 months, 6 months, a year. I'm not very clear on what it's going to take for you, but you have to remove yourself until it's time to reinsert yourself. So you can, again, as I said at the beginning of every show, take yourself up off the shelf to find your greatest internal wealth. So sometimes you have to step back. You have to pull back from everything that's going on so you can look around and really focus and get in your zone and analyze and assess the situation that you may be in and ask yourself again, is this something that needs repairing? Is this something that needs to be removed and done away with? Or is this something that needs to just be refurbished or replaced it in a new space today? Going to do knee surgery, right? I've been repairing this thing or attempting to repair this thing over 10 years ago when I had it scoped and I had surgery and I had it cleaned out and things of that nature. Now, 10 years later, when I go back, not that I go every 10 years, but when I go back after having another injury, and I thought they could do the same thing for me. They could just go in and scope it and do some cleaning. We could just do some repairing, right? That's what I thought we could do. But they like, nah, you through. We way past that. We need to remove. We need to remove this old knee that's hindering you and that's helping you or allowing you to do those things that you want to do, so we can replace something new in you. Now I get it. New don't always mean better because there's some old school cars and some old school vehicles that'll put some of these new old school cars and old school vehicles. I wanted to say old school tools and old school vehicles. But there's some things from our past that continues to last and put some of these new things to shame. But could that be a thought process in our brain? Because we are so quick to turn things over to be replaced. We haven't learned how to keep things and continue to develop them so they will stay consistently working for us. Um, Got to reassess before considering retreat. Absolutely, man. There you go, dropping more R's in there for me. And I try to keep it simple with them today. But you definitely got to reassess before you retreat. Because sometimes you could be beat, and sometimes you cannot be beaten. You can think that you beat before you're actually beaten. And if you don't reassess, you might fail the mission. So absolutely, you're damn good. You're doing damn good for your age. Hey, well, I thank you for that today. I appreciate that, man. I'm doing well, and there's so much more that I can do. And I make a promise to myself, and hopefully you make a promise to you. Do more for yourself every day to live your life in a better way. Do more for yourself every day to live your life in a better way. And I know some people might think that's selfish. What about everybody else? If you don't do more for your life to put yourself in a better position to win, how can you help somebody else begin to win? PT test, running. You can talk, you can holler, you can sing cadence with one another, you can run on a group, you can assist. But what you cannot do is touch, push, pull, or drag them along. So you got to get yourself strong before you can do that thing to help somebody else get it going on. Too grunt to quit. Too grunt to quit. I got you. Too legit to quit. Like Hammer. Hey man, the show must go on. We have been gone for too long. I We were doing some repairing and some refurbishing, and it needed to be some rebuilding and some other things that needed to happen that actually needed to happen. But I believe it happened just the way it needed to because we got to choose. We got to choose when we came back. We got to choose how we came back, and we got to decide what we are going to do with this. Were we going to just fall back completely and remove ourselves from these platforms and not do this anymore? Or was we going to repair what we had built and kind of refurbish it and change it a little bit and replace some things that we needed to replace so we can get back in this space and doing what we want to do. If it's just me, if it's Whiskey Charlie, if it's 2 or 3 other people that come on too, we're going to continue to do this thing because I know you got some repair work you got to do too. And as my buddy Grove said, you have to reassess before you actually make the decision of what to do next. You have to reassess before you actually make the decision for what to do next. So reassess before you consider retreating. When I told me that it was time to do a knee replacement, there was no more just cleaning. My only other option was after reassessing and asking what else could we do, they said, well, we can give you injection shots. We'll just shoot you up, 2-3 times out the year and see how that works for you. And my question was, well, how long does this last? You saying 2 or 3 years? What does it help me get to? Will I still have to get my knee removed? Would I still have to come see you? Oh yeah, this is gonna go on until we decide, or till you decide you're ready to take that ride and have that knee replacement, right? Why delay the inevitable? Why delay the inevitable? If you know the way that you're working is not working for you, why don't you go find someone to help you work through what you're growing through? Why delay the inevitable? Why continue to put band-aids on things that you know needs to be removed? It's like having a leaky faucet and you keep attempting to tighten it down just a little bit tighter so that drip don't come through. But then that drip turns into a drop and now it looks like it's running on you. And now, not only do you have to remove the whole faucet to replace maybe a washer or two, there may be some extra work for you because instead of just removing and refurbishing in the beginning, we wanted to keep putting a band-aid on that thing and thinking we was repairing, but when we were repairing, we wasn't winning. We wasn't building in that situation. Resharpen, refocus, and attack those obstacles in front of us. Obstacles are only opportunities. That's what I like to say. Obstacles are only opportunities every day. Man, resharpen, refocus, and attack. Repair, remove, refurbish, and or replace. Been through 3 knee surgeries. They won't replace them until I'm 50. I was diagnosed with a connective tissue disorder. Ligaments, tendons, and cartilage breaking down. Oh, wow, my brother. Okay. Yep. I was 36 when they first diagnosed me. And I had some of those, not connective tissue disorder, but I had no cartilage. I had some tears in my tendons and ligaments, and I had a lot of bone on bone. And they said behind my kneecap was just horrible. And I was 36 years old, and they had no major repairs they could do at that time besides scoping it out. I mean, cleaning it and scoping it and getting some of the loose cartilage and bone that was floating around. And the same thing for me. They wanted me to wait till I was about 50. It just happened to be when I was 46. I didn't want to sit back and keep getting injection shots to see what happens. Still running and gunning to Valhalla. Absolutely, my brother. I've been doing the same thing. After I got the first scope, I went on a deployment and everything. One of the things that did make me nervous about having a knee surgery, I needed to know how it was going to affect me. Remember what I said to you. Sometimes when you put in something new, it doesn't seem like it may be as good as the previous thing or the old thing. Now, I'm just talking about bone and replacements and things, right? Because I know what these knees will do. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know how the pain feels. I know how to deal with the pain. What I don't know is when I have this thing removed and they replace it, what's that going to be like? I know I'm going to have to learn. Of course, you're going to be learning it, or they're going to be teaching you to walk again, just to make sure you got your balance right and your posture right and all those things. And it may seem like, I'm not going to be sweet. I'm just going to get up and walk. I'm going to have a different knee. Well, I don't know what that's going to be because I've never had a different knee inside of me. You don't know what that's going to be when you take out the old part and you put in one that's been refurbished, or you put in a brand new part and you replace that thing. It's almost like putting a new engine in your car. You're expecting everything to be legit and run like it, but that don't mean that that's it. that don't mean that that's it. You still got to maintenance it. You still have to protect it. You still have to take care of it. And those are some of the things that I know I'm going to have to do once I have this old knee removed. I won't be able to just probably run out there and go running and jumping and playing airsoft like I used to. I have to think differently, prepare myself what I'm about to do. As my buddy said it earlier, I need to resharpen, refocus, and then attack those obstacles in front of me. I need to reassess what I'm doing before I do what I'm getting ready to do. I have to reassess before I go attack these new obstacles once I get this new knee. So my old knee is beyond repairing. It's beyond repairing. And I don't think they're doing refurbished knees right now. I don't know if I want a cadaver's knees, no way. So I'm just gonna let them put some of that metal titanium stuff in there that they're gonna put in there and see how that go today. But it's okay. Let me go back and read this last comment real quick. Learning is nope. Learning is good for the mind. It's the body that will struggle. Having a strong mind and spirit drives the warrior. Absolutely. Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. The body, they say the body is always willing, but the mind is weak. Because the body only does what the mind tells it to do. The body only does what the mind tells it to do, and the mind will control you if you don't repair. Because I think he says something about resharpen, refocus, and attack. So you got to resharpen your mind by reading, by studying, by surrounding yourself with individuals who want more out of life and who's looking to move forward in life. That's all a part of resharpening and refocusing to be able to attack what's happening next for you. My grunt brothers are specifically talking to you. I don't care if it's been 2 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever you may have been through, if it's still affecting you, if it's still holding you from where you want to be, you got to open your mouth and you got to speak. Because this ain't something that just goes away overnight. This takes constant work and repairing. This takes constant removing of those old thoughts and ideas. It takes constant refurbishing from that old mindset, those old ways, to putting in a new plan today. The testament of a real man is to speak what he feels and stand where he stands. Like, stand on the words that you speak. Don't allow yourself to be afraid of using your emotions, but you make sure you control your emotions and do not let them control you. You got to make sure you control your emotions and do not let them control you. It's pivotal when you're growing through your obstacles that you run into. If you don't control your emotions and you continue to operate the way you used to, your emotions could cripple you. They could handicap you, because it's a big difference between being disabled and being handicapped. And a lot of times we look at our life like we're disabled, when in all actuality we may just be handicapped. Disabled may mean I may lose a limb and I'm not able to use my right hand if it's not there. Handicap may actually means I am stuck somewhere in my mind. I am taking the time to say what I can't do and how this is holding me down and what I can't get through. Handicap can be fixed by you. Disabilities, that's somebody else going to have to help you get through. Got to get these kids to bed. Dad has to work at 4:30. Be blessed, my brother. Stay upright and moving. Grow out. Peace out, Grow. Thank you for tuning in and jumping in with me, my brother. I know when I get off of here, I'm going to be going to bed too, because I got to get up early. Well, I'll be up at 4:30 myself, my brother, not doing my regular routine. I'll be continuing to preparing to head out to the hospital to do what I need to do to get this old knee removed. So you have a good night. Kiss the kids good night. And enjoy your evening, man. Be safe tomorrow. So now you know what the 3 R's mean and which will you choose. And every situation and every circumstance of life is going to be different for you. It's going to be different for you. And every situation and every circumstance in life is going to be different for you, because depending on what it is, you may have to jump a level and move on right to the next thing instead of worrying about repairing. Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I don't know what happened to my buddy Whiskey Charlie, but it's okay today. So back to what I was saying. Re refurbishing, refurbishing, and I want to take this talking about, and just the body part. And I mentioned it earlier. You know, I guess refurbish isn't so bad if it continues to give you life. It continues to allow you to live without any pain or discomfort. I guess refurbishing wouldn't be so bad because you have to think about that when we do kidney transplants, liver transplants, and things of that nature. And I know I'm stretching out far, but it's not yours. It's not refurbished either, but it's not new because it came from somebody else. So I'm sure there's some things that they had to do, some tests that they have to run to make sure you the one that it's going to fit. So if you're looking at it like that, from that standpoint, then refurbishing is cool. That's it, because you can't always replace what ain't out there in space. Can't always replace what is not available out there in the space. So if you cannot get new and refurbishes what's offered to you, then refurbish is what you need to do. Hey, you may not be able to go back to when you was a child and get a whole new mind, but you can renew your mind starting right now at this time if you pour new conversation into your life. If you attempt to surround yourself with individuals who you think doing it right, doing it the way that you want to do it, not just continuing to put a band-aid on that thing and waiting for the breakdown so you can get upset. And then you want to be mean when things don't go right because you didn't take care of them in your life. Forgive me. I got to stop this yawning, but you heard my buddy say it earlier. The Z monster is on you, and that is very true. When you get up as early as I do and you do the things that I do, around 9 o'clock, you get tired too. So, over these next 4 to 6 weeks, as I'm recovering, I'm sure I'll be able to get to bed at a decent time and get plenty of sleep. But that's also something else. I've been preparing, not repairing, but preparing for what's about to happen to me by looking at what I'm going to do for these next 4 to 6 weeks so I can launch myself and my family into the next, not dimension, but the next area, the next area of our life, and growing to become a better version of me, the next version of me that not I see, but that God sees as I'm maturing, as I'm growing. Like, me saying it earlier, I wasn't mature and I hadn't grown up when I had to remove myself from my marriage because I just wasn't doing the right things. But as I matured and I grew up and I started to treat myself like the king that God called me to be, then that was easier to transition it to my family. But when you don't see that for yourself, then that's when the repairing needs to begin. Because if you don't see yourself as a king, if you don't see yourself as a queen, if you don't see the individuals around you on your team as building and self-fulfilling their own goals and dreams to help you get to yours too, because they're all about making it through, then you're going to be in trouble. You got repair work to do. Because if you're the smartest person in your group, you need to get a new group. And somewhere along your life, that was told to you that was the right thing to do. Well, I'm here to tell you, you need to repair that too. Because if you're not comfortable or being made uncomfortable so you can grow in your life and change your life to your life get right as you continue to move forward, then you're going to be in trouble in life. And listen to me, my grunt brothers, whatever's keeping you down in your mind, whatever's holding you back from going on an attack like we used to on a hasty ambush or on an assault the objective or something of that nature, whatever, the Z monsters definitely got on me. Whatever is holding you back from going on the attack, you need to talk about that. You need to talk about that so you can replace your old thoughts with new thoughts today. So you can understand that although they may see your handsome face, they may see your smiling face, it's the things that we don't say that can get in the way of our joy and our peace and our success every day. People know you go to the gym and people know you work out. People know you ate today, but do people know your mind state is at really? Do they know what you're dealing with? Because when I was going through my divorce, I didn't share that with anybody because everybody seen me and looked at me as always happy and upbeat and uplifting. But I had felt like a failure because I know I was doing some things that wasn't repairing or preparing my son to be a king, to treat my wife like a queen. It wasn't the right thing that I was doing because I hadn't repaired myself from what I seen marriage being from someone else. Yeah, I know. I'm only talking about three things, but I didn't share the multitude of stories with you. Which one you choose with these three R's will be significant for you when you choose them and why you choose them. And how does it affect your life when you choose them? How do you decide when to exercise the necessary R? How do you decide when to exercise, whether you need to take something to the shop just to get it repaired, a little fixed up, little maintenance? When you need to take something to the shop, you like, nah, bruh. I don't need just brake pads. I need the rotors removed. I need the calipers checked out. I need all that stuff. Now we can get some refurbished parts on there, but some of these things, these rotors, I need to get replaced today. Like, when do you decide which is necessary? Do you wait to the very end when financially that price tag is just tick, 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 ticking up? Is that how you plan your luck? Or if you doing regular routine maintenance, it might just save you from having to replace it. If you do regular routine maintenance, it might just save you from feeling like there is no replacing the stories and the horrors that you go through. Because unfortunately, if you're carrying that for too long, you're not doing the necessary work to change from going through to growing through. You keep holding on something that God is attempting to take away from you, trying to repair you, trying to replace the things that you've been through, trying to remove you from something that's uncomfortable. But sometimes we hold on and we hold on for far too long. We hold on for far too long and we wonder why things keep going on the way they've been going on because you are afraid to let go. Yep. I had a moment. I didn't know if I wanted to let go this knee that's a part of me. And I'm like, this is my body. How I'm going to let them do something on my knee? And God was like, it's just a vessel, G. This body is just a vessel, G. What's inside of me is the greatest part of me. What's inside of you is the greatest part of you. And I don't care what you are currently going through. God can, will it repair, restore, refurbish, replace the negative things that you've been through and put some joy and a smile and some grace upon your face. But you have to be willing to lay hold to those things and know that you're going to be okay. It's okay to shed a tear. It's okay to get out of pocket and feel like you want to kick and scream until God gets near and get closer to you. But when you do all those things, just make sure after he repairs you, you don't go back to what you used to do. After I get my knee repaired and I have to get this new thing, I know I won't be able to go do some of the things that an infantry guy like me used to. And fortunately for me, I'm ETS out of the Army, so I don't have to worry about putting on 70, 80-pound ruck, even though I might throw in a 35 or 40. I don't have to worry about walking around with body armor on all the time. I don't have to worry about climbing mountains. I don't have to worry about IEDs and those things. So this new knee should get a little bit of reprieve and get a little bit break in, but I'm still going to be walking, rucking. And maybe I can get back to a little bit of running too. Who knows? We're gonna see what it do. But I know there's gonna be some steps that I need to take so I don't just break that thing and then I gotta be in a doctor looking for some repairing. And now they mad at me because they gotta remove certain things because you put wear and tear on them knees. You putting wear and tear on your mind every time you don't talk about what you going through, and that's what's holding you back from getting to the best version of you. Every single day of our life, we should be striving to be better. Every single day of our life, we should be striving to go further, faster, more focused, with more tenacity. And I don't mean faster in the such like get there in a hurry. I mean faster in the such as you moving to get there. You're moving to learn. You're moving to earn. You're moving to draw people near or to draw something into you. You don't have to be moving fast when you're doing the work that you called to do. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. In the infantry, we moved fast after executing the process over and over again slow. It looks so fast and it looks so smooth because it had became a natural flow. Most of us don't have a natural flow to deal with our mentality when it's been shown some things or it's had to do some things that wasn't normal for civilians, because that's what we were before we joined the military. So you have to find that thing to where after you get it repaired or it's been removed or it's been refurbished, that you need to know, how do I do the maintenance on this thing to make it grow? Because here's what I know. Sometimes when certain things are broken, they grow back stronger. Mentally, when you are broken, you come back stronger than what you was before, because you should, hopefully you possess or choose to use those examples or the situations that you went through to strengthen you. It's like dealing with plants. When you break a plant or you cut a piece off, you can actually clone it from what it used to be. But if you just break it on the actual vine and over a period of time, it's going to begin to strengthen itself and grow back, depending on where you break it at and how you break it. And what's going to happen is probably going to grow a knot in that spot. Like it's going to be more calloused up. It's going to be stronger because it's already been through a break. It's already been through a repairing. See, when something has already been through a repairing, it has a tendency to be a little bit stronger because of the parts or the things that were put in place to help it continue that race, can help it continue to be in the fight. When you just take it out, you put in a new, you don't know what that new gonna do. It's like I just said to you, I know what this old knee is capable of doing. I don't know what the new knee, what they gonna give me, gonna do for me. You know what the old mindset has done to you. You know what the old mindset has stopped you from being able to do. You know that the old mindset that may have come about you during your time serving or during your time being served, you know some of those old things need to be removed from you. Just like you physically remove yourself from the military, you need to remove some of those thoughts too. Leave them behind because they may be hurting you. And God is looking to repair you. God is looking to remove you. Help you see that even in a refurbished view, you still are powerful. But he can replace those negative things that happen to you with joyous things to really see you operate in your greatness to do what you need to do. Only thing I'm talking about to you is to know when to execute the R's that's given to you. Whether you got to repair it, you got to remove it, you got to rebuild and refurbish it. And as my buddy Grove was saying, sometimes you got to resharpen things. You have to refocus this thing often. You have to refocus this thing often. And you also must reassess before you decide to retreat or give up on that thing you feel like you can't beat. I just took an insurance exam and I didn't do the most studying in, and I had to go back and say, do I want to do this again? And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, because it's gonna change so much in my family. Like learning financial investments and insurance, I had to reassess before I went back in to get prepared to take the test again. I had to reassess, and reassessing and looking at my goals and why I'm doing what I'm doing, why I do what I do. It strengthened me and it gave me the courage to go back again and know that I can get through this thing too. So, what do you need to reassess for you? What do you need to repair for you? What do you need to, or who do you need to remove from around you? Because sometimes we got to remove people too, and that might be a difficult thing for me and you. We don't want to remove nobody. On that note, I'm a yawn. We don't want to remove nobody. We don't want to remove nobody to change. We don't want to remove anybody so we can change. When you want to change your body, you start hanging around with other bodies who's doing well. You start going to the gym, you get a trainer, you start eating healthier, hopefully, because you want to remove some things that you may physically see. But when you're dealing with that mentality, only you know what you struggle with. Only you know what you see. That's why it is your mission, your number one mission, to talk about someone, not everyone, to someone, what you're growing, what you're going through, and how can you begin to grow through to become a better version of you. But if you don't talk, then somebody will be replacing you. Yep. If you don't talk, somebody gonna have to replace you. Whether Jesus take you home, whether they no longer can deal with what you got going on, and they gonna remove themselves, and you're gonna be replaced by somebody else. But ain't gonna be no refurbishing. It's gonna be some repairing and some rebuilding mentally, and I guess you can refurbish that thing. You can refurbish that thing a little bit, but don't play with it. Just go ahead and replace it. Les Brown said, for every negative thought, it takes 16 positive thoughts just to combat that one negative thought. For every one negative thought, it takes 16 positive thoughts or 16 positive words of affirmation or phrases to be spoken into your life every time somebody tells you something negative, right? Look at the amount of work you have to do to repair what was said to you. What if you could just take that thing, snatch it, and remove? I'm done. I'm through with you. I don't need you no more. I don't need the thoughts of high school dropout anymore. I don't carry the thoughts of my first time in the military in 99. I don't need you no more. Whew. I removed just like I'm about to remove from y'all too in 7 to 8 minutes or so. So I go to bed too. I don't got to put my kids to sleep, but I got to get to sleep. Okay. You know what I mean? So, anyhow, repairing starts with maintenance. And why do I say it starts with maintenance? Because if you're doing your maintenance, you'll know the level of repairing you need to do. If you praying and talking to God, you know He talking to you too. And you'll know how deep you need to get into that conversation with him. And he'll tell you, he'll show you, go see your pastor, go see a therapist, go see a counselor. You'll know how deep you need to get in to do the repair work for you. Then you'll understand when it's time to remove those bad ideas, those bad friends, those bad things from you. And you'll have to remove that old view of you so he can show you that new view of you when he's replaced all those old things that you used to do with those things that you are currently doing, especially if it ain't about to ruin nobody's life. Now, if you still doing the same thing today as you was doing 15 years ago, then we don't want that. I saw. I don't call those refurbished goods. You want to replace that part. You want to place old thoughts and ideas that's hindering you with new thoughts and ideas that's empowering you. You want to be empowered, not counseled, because being empowered is being strengthened, is asking questions of where, when, how, why, what time are we moving forward? What are we doing with this? Being counseled is telling you what you need to do, when you need to do it, why you should do it, how it might affect you. Same type of thing, different principles and where they're going to lead you to. You want to be empowered or you want to be counseled? Talking about your past, about what you've been through, or you want to be empowered? Let's talk about your present, how good you're doing, and how we're going to celebrate you in the future. I see great things for you, but you got to be willing to repair the idea that somebody gave you or who you are today. You got to be willing to remove that negative attitude and those negative things that you might have done or that you might have seen that's no longer a part of you. You may have to be okay with getting some refurbished affirmations or things that's poured into your life to help you get it right. No, it's not brand new. It's not something you came up with on your own, but it'll do too. And finally, if that don't work, just replace it. Just replace it. People, place, or thing that's a noun, all those things can be replaced. Now, if you got a wife or something like that, keep her next to you. Keep her your way as best you can because she's going to help you get through, man. But some of those other things, my knee needs replacing. Fortunately, unfortunately for me, I've already gave myself the mindset that it's okay, G. Why? Because I usually say if these knees and ankles ever go bad and have to go out, I'm just going to go to Walmart one day and pick up a new set. Well, here it is. I got to get ready to go to Walmart. Not really, but hospital. There's plenty of those around too. Ain't no discount, low prices though. No, that ain't what it do. Even with insurance, I think I'm still 3-4 grand in. But that's okay, man. I win because I have the victory. God has blessed me just like he blessed you. So when you know that you're going through, or you see up on the horizon something that may come for you, then I need you to start asking yourself, what do I need to do? Do the repair work need to begin? Do I need to remove myself from what this situation may get me in? And is it worth putting in a refurbished used part, or do I just need to replace this thing and start from the very beginning? When you're dealing with your mind and you're dealing with your emotions, you're dealing with trauma, don't worry about the repairing. Don't worry about the refurbishing. Let's focus on removing those negative things and then replacing them with the positive, uplifting things. That's going to help you go from going through to growing through. And it's going to help you be more resourceful for what you need to do. And as I close, leaving this with you from our buddy Grow, make sure you resharpen, refocus, and attack those obstacles in front of you. Make sure you resharpen, refocus, and attack those obstacles in front of you. You could do anything you put your mind to if you just start to mentally believe in you. Speak, grunt. Because grunts, we get loud and we speak when we going through a time of turmoil and we in the fight. Everybody know we there, whether it's day or night. We screaming loud at the top of our lungs. We got our war cry going on, and the warriors has come out and they ready to battle. I need you to do that in your everyday life, and I need you to definitely do that to keep your mind right, to keep yourself at peace, because we need you, baby. We losing too many a day. So I need you to get your R's in the right space, and you don't have to use them in no particular way, but just know that they there and take that tactical pause before you make a decision, y'all, because it will take you a long way. That's it. That's all Big Sarge got to say. I hope this motivation and inspiration was something for your situation today. This has been Grunt Speak. Speak, Grunt. Well, we come through, we speak to you, and we hope that you get on here and you speak to us too. And hopefully something that we said blesses you. Make sure you share this video, comment down below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. We cool with that. Thumbs up, thumbs down. we ain't gonna frown. We ain't gonna cry about it. We just looking to do more interacting and connecting. This is a part of rebuilding a thing. This is a part of replacing things that we used to do and moving forward with you. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. We will see y'all next time when we free and relax our minds. Shout out to Whiskey Charlie. Hopefully you safe, my brother. You probably tired and relaxing from the things you had going on today, and I completely understand that. But we will see y'all next week. God willing, new knee on me. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, peace.